All right, what's up, guys? So this is the 2-year anniversary of my 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road. Let's take a look at it. So I purchased this Toyota Tacoma 2 years ago, and since I bought this truck, not very long after, I did the 3-in-1 lift on it, 3 in the front, 1 in the rear. And the reason I did that is so I could fit some bigger tires and wheels on it. And that's exactly how I wanted it. Here's a better look. I literally put everything on this truck that I wanted, and yeah, I love it. It's great. I'm gonna go over some stuff that I like and I don't like, how this has been for the last 2 years, and I currently have 26,824 miles on it, and it's dirty. I use it all the time. I tow cars with it. I tow dirt bikes. I haul stuff around. I haul batteries. I use this truck like a truck. When I bought it, I wasn't planning on using it so much like a truck, but that's what I've been doing. And after 2 years, I'm realizing I need something else, something bigger, something I can throw tools in, and that I'm not thrashing this thing to death. You can see, dash, dirty as always. Kids, you got the kids' seats back here, daughter's seat, son's seat. It does work. They do fit. They're 4 and 6 years old, so that's fine. They climb in with these steps as well. So what has held up good and what has not? So the paint looks great on it still. I don't wash this thing a whole lot because I live here in Idaho and everything just gets dirty, but the paint underneath all this still nice and shiny. But on the downside, this paint is super thin. I mean, anything touches it, it'll scratch it. And so that's a complaint about that. I like the color. I would have went with a different color, but this is the only new one that they had at the time. And me being not patient, I went for this one. But steps. They came with the Predator steps, and like an idiot, I wasn't paying attention. I was in some guy's driveway buying some stuff from him. He had a massive rock in front of my truck where, well, the rock was there. Me being an idiot, I went around it and backed up and forgot that it was in front of me because I was excited and drove over the rock and literally caved in those steps. And thank God that those steps protected this whole thing, because it would have caved in the whole side of the truck. But so I ended up buying these steps for $150 or $100 or something. And these KYX steps cost about 10% of what the other ones do, or 20%, and I like them better. I can actually stand on it. I also went with these KO2s. I love these tires. They work good in all weather, everywhere, and they're quiet. I like quiet. Now that I'm 41 years old, I like things a little bit more quiet. The fuel wheels, I like those fuel wheels. One thing I will say about this 3-in-1 lift tires and wheels is that, I'm glad I did it, but at the same time, I got it out of my system. I'd probably just leave my truck stock. I mean, really, you lose some suspension on it. You gain travel, but you lose some of that nice soft suspension. It's a little harder. Tires and wheels are a little heavier. Everything's more rigid. You hit bumps, you feel it more. It looks cool, but I mean, really, the next truck I have, I'm really trying to find just a stock factory, not even lifted truck, and I'll use it the way it is. Maybe throw some tires on it, but other than that, I'm gonna leave it pretty much stock. But I do love this. So this truck did come with a lot of things, blackout package like this. It came not with this. I added this later on to go with the rest of the matte black theme and the blackout theme. I also added these as well. Behind here you can see, well, maybe you can't see, those handles are as gray as these, but these have been great. They've held up awesome for 2 years. Also added these would look real flimsy and real cheap, ABS, low pros. They don't pop out like the other ones. They're super flimsy, but they've been there and they haven't moved since. This right here, this thing is on here like no other. Low profile. I don't know what it's for, but it went with the whole theme of it. So I bought that as well. Yeah, I like those things. I like those because you can crack the window and you don't have water coming in or anything like that. This, I don't know. I like it. I probably wouldn't get another one if I'm going to keep the truck for a long time. I just have a feeling that stuff's going to run behind this, seep down here, and start rusting this thing out. They say they won't, but I don't believe them. And you can see part of the lift here. They use all the Tacoma stock factory suspension components and shocks, but they stick this little spacer right here. Now I had mine done at the dealer and they did everything, aligned it and all that stuff, but that's what they put in to raise that front end up and make it a 3-in-1. Now the rear of these trucks are already higher than the front from the factory, so what else they do is they put, kind of rambling on here, if you can see that block, that's a block down there to bring that up, because that front suspension, that spacer raises it up 3 inches. This is already up 2 inches higher, but to level it, they need to bring it up. So that's why they put that block in there. Still same factory components there, but these things still have a soft rear and they still slouch a little bit, and the fronts are up. Especially when you tow cars and stuff like that, you're gonna blow these things out like I have. This also came with like the tip on there. A lot of things it came with already. What I would do is I'd go with like an SR. I don't need all this stuff. Crawl control. I've literally used this just to try it out, and it's pretty much, I don't know, it's worthless for what I do. I wouldn't like it anyways because it uses the ABS and makes a bunch of weird noises. Locker, I use it just to use it, but I really don't need it. This thing goes everywhere I need it to, no problem. Sorry about the dog barking. Conveniently comes out and barks at nothing. A lot of these other things, blind spot monitors, those are actually pretty cool. But I don't need it. Really, if I could save myself $4,000, I wouldn't have any of that stuff. I would have went with the SR and saved a bunch of money and then added this stuff on there. But that's just me. That's what I would have done. Also, I like the look of this short bed and everything, but this short bed is worthless. I mean, it really is. I throw dirt bikes back here and I got to have tailgate down, then I got to strap down the ramp down. The ramp doesn't fit in. Then I got to cut, do all this stuff. I've had toolboxes in the back that made it even more worthless. I've had trail boxes in the back. Then I couldn't tie down, so that made it worthless. Looked cool, but didn't work. I got a pretty beefy hitch set up on here. Holy cow, I blew these shocks out. I mean, oh my gosh. I'm barely pressing on those things and this thing's bouncing. Look. Anyways, I got this hitch on here because I tow trailers and stuff like that, so that hitch is great, but that's not part of the truck. Oh, this is another thing that's cool, is this right here, having this double setup. Great, multiple different trailers I could use and plug in. Now there are those things that I just don't like. I bought a mid-size truck for a couple different reasons. Fuel economy I thought would be better. Getting around parking lots, stuff like that would be better. I can still tow a good amount of weight. This is like 6,400, I believe. Still has enough power and everything. But the thing is, with this truck, I'm still getting like 12 to 15 miles a gallon. I have no room in it, and yeah, it doesn't make sense. If I could, I'd like to keep the truck, but I don't have money like that where I could just keep my Tacoma, then have a full-size truck, then have a family SUV, and then have a car. I just don't have it like that. So the fuel economy just sucks. Also, going on trips, I do a lot of driving. I do a lot of kind of traveling, going picking up stuff, dirt bikes, cars, whatever. And last thing I want to do is have my foot on the gas pedal the whole time. Cruise control is worthless on this truck. And some people say, well, it's because it's lifted. No, it's worthless on a lot of these trucks, even when they're stock. it just gear searches. If you look it up, there's more than just one person complaining about it. There's other people. So that is a huge complaint for me. So fuel economy and the shifting of the transmission is ridiculous. I don't have a problem with the horsepower and torque, even the towing capacity for the size of that as it is. I've towed stuff bigger than my truck with the trailer and everything. It's done fine, and but I would like more. And if I'm getting 12 miles to the gallon and I'm spending all the money I'm spending on this vehicle, I might as well have a full-size truck. You know, it just isn't worth it to me. That's just for me. The kids still fit back here fine. I went over that earlier. There's some things that are good to have because they're just going to tear up everything. The back seats, almost worthless when it comes to, sitting back there. It's pretty tight for adults, at least most adults. But yeah, that's kind of it. Seating position, I have no real problem with seating position. I mean, this thing moves all over the place, so I really don't have a problem with it. Some people complain about it. It is what it is. I'm 5'10", 190, and I fit in and out perfectly. When I was like 210, this is a little tight, so it works. It's comfortable. Everything's where I want it to be, but at the same time, eventually going to grow out of it. But would I recommend one of these trucks? Of course. One thing I would recommend, and take this information very, very seriously. I bought this truck. I worked at a dealership. I said, hey, I'll take it if you guys could get me finance for it. And that's what they did. I wanted one of these trucks. I was making good money at the time, and I figured I'm going to buy my first brand new Toyota Tacoma. I looked at these trucks since 2016, never thought I'd be able to get one, and I had the chance, so I snagged it. What I would have done differently now that I've done this, I would have bought something that already depreciated, that had low miles on it, and then I would have just paid an extra $2,000 and got like a certified pre-owned warranty, electronics and everything, and saved myself, about $7,000. And that's not even including interest. And I would have went with the SR. I would have been more patient. I didn't think I was going to get financed. I worked there for like a week, so I would have done that differently. I would have got that longer bed. Would have done that differently. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of rambling. I'm getting off track. But I would have bought a pre-owned one, or base model one, brand new, and I would have searched around everywhere, and I would have found a dealer that had a bunch of them on the lot marked down, and I would have went with that. At the time, I worked at the place, and that's why I did it. It was out of convenience. The money I saved wasn't worth what I paid, but like I said, it was a dream fulfilled. But what I would have done different, would have the money been pre-approved, and I would have searched around and found one of these either pre-owned or just marked down like crazy, SR, plain Jane, 4x4, and would have got it for like 39 or 40,000 versus 45 or 46, and I would have went and just kept it stock and just drove the stock tires on it until they were bald, and then I would have added this stuff later on. So keep that in mind. Also, I did a lease option. I'm 50-50 on the lease, because a lease saved me like $150 a month, and I have more options. I could just drop this thing off, or I could just pay it off, or I could finance it. I just had a bunch of different options. But like right now, I could have had just some extra money, and I don't know. It made sense. Rates were crazy. By the time I get into this, its balance is about the same when it comes to interest and payments and how much I'd be paying off on the vehicle. So that extra $150 for the last, 2 years, what is that? Like 15, 18. It's like, let's say it's like $3,500 I saved, which it's a long story, but it makes sense. But at the same time, if rates are lower, then of course finance it. There's no reason to do a lease. But I just had more options, and I didn't think I was going to stop working there. So that was the other thing. So this thing's going on a little bit longer than I expected. Hopefully this is informative for you. So just a little recap. Gas mileage sucks. Shifting sucks. Rates, banking rates sucked when I bought this. And also there wasn't so many of them. So that made it a little bit rougher. But at the same time, it's a Toyota Tacoma. I built it how I wanted to. I love the truck. Every time I look at it, I just want to keep it. I just want to go pay for it. And at the same time, I'm looking at it like, is it worth me doing that? I don't know. So that's my 2-year review. If you find one, try to find one used. Do your shopping, find them cheap. You can't find them brand new anymore. But if you're looking at the newer Tacomas, there's huge savings you can find. And you can find them cheap. And you can find low mile ones. Like, I think there's one for right now, it's an SR 4x4 over in Utah for like $37,500. It's got like 1,200 miles on it. So, and it's the same color as this, but it's a 2024 or 2025. So just do your research when you look at these. And also, if you're going to start working out of them, at the time I wasn't doing all the stuff I'm doing now. But if you're going to work out of this truck, you might want to get that long bed, or you might want to go with the Tundra, because it's so hard to work out of this thing. And also another thing, having a new truck, you don't want to tear the thing up. Like, I didn't want to go four-wheeling, I didn't want to go beat on it, yet I wanted to do those things. So great truck, awesome, reliable, never gave me any problems, except for when I had the intake and the pedal commander on it. I started getting some throttle problems, but that was because I added stuff to it I shouldn't. But other than that, great truck. I love it. I'm gonna miss it. Hopefully I can figure out a way to just go pay for it and buy it and go from there. But that's my review 2 years later. God bless you so much. I hope this made sense. Hope it didn't waste your time. And that's all the information I have for you on it. As always, God bless. What's next?